Hello and welcome to Down by the Gram on Cam with me, the Grandmaster Kush, talking all things Amsterdam, coffee shops and everything from the cannabis community. Joining me as always, I have my co-host, the Fade of Fairy.
Hello,
Ready for this?
Yes.
A wet day outside.
Yeah, so I'm not complaining, being cozy in the
inside
studio.
smoking a few joints.
Happy days.
And joining us this week, we've got Reydempto.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Before we get started, I've got a word from our sponsors, 21 by 20, life summed up, so you can choose between a snapback or a beanie.
Snapback.
Snapback?
Yes.
Pass that down.
Ready for summer.
So 21 by 20, life summed up. They're not on general sale, they're just for the smoking elitified society. But if you want your chance to win one, you can like and share this episode to your Facebook or Instagram, and then comment underneath what 21 multiplied by 20 equals, and we'll send a hat out to the winner.
What is the company about, actually?
21 by 20, what's it equal? 420. Yeah.
But what do they do?
It's me. Yeah.
What do you do?
It's just a cool brand that came up with for the podcast.
Oh,
that's
gotcha, right
all
on.
I do is give it to people.
And stuff like that.
It's only for the people who come on the podcast, so it's the only way to
right
get it at the moment.
Sick.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we're trying to bring a more subtle and sleek stoner brand.
Yeah.
That hasn't got a big ganja
Weed
leaf
leaf
on it,
or-
Yeah, this doesn't
I
scream
smoke
420 to
pot.
me.
No, that's it. You know what I mean? It's
walk
that
through
subtle.
airports, everything.
Yeah.
Even a lot of stoners, you'll see them when you wear that. You'll have a lot of people looking at your head. Some won't say
Some that can do
anything.
maths.
And next thing you'll have someone, oh my god, 420.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, yeah.
I have one with a hoodie on it, and I'm
yeah.
walking around. People just go, "Oh, 420." You know what I mean? So
It's a nice, just like subtle way to ablaze, but
yeah,
if you know,
and it's
you
only
know.
for the
Yeah.
it's only for the guests and the viewers of the podcast for the moment.
Wonderful.
So
Well, thank you very
yeah.
much. I appreciate it.
Before we get started, I'm going to ask you 4 questions in 20 seconds. See what kind of stoner you are.
Okay.
So, weed or hash,
Weed,
sativa or indica,
sativa,
rolled or in bowls,
rolled.
and what was the first coffee shop you ever smoked in?
Tater.
Oh yeah, nice.
Now, I was lucky about that because when I came to Amsterdam in 2009 is because I knew someone from Amsterdam.
Okay.
And so they already knew
Where
take
to go,
me.
yeah.
Yeah. And they weren't necessarily a stoner, but they're an old school Amsterdammer.
Yeah, they'd
so
heard
they
about
knew
it.
like, oh, you go to Tater.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
took me right there. And, yeah. So I got lucky.
Nice.
When I first moved over, I googled best 3 coffee shops in Amsterdam, and I had Twee de Kamer, Boren Jungens, and 137,
Okay.
which is a random list, but
Yeah.
it's, you know what I mean. It's
Is
you get it.
137 still around?
It just got renovated.
I only
Yeah,
saw
it just
that,
got
yeah.
renovated,
Wow.
and I haven't seen it, I haven't been in it, but I've heard a few people talking about it being renovated. It's a
Yeah.
nice shop as well.
Wow.
That.
And it was again like the what you were saying about the Joker. It's lovely on a nice corner,
Yeah.
quiet bit of town, but right beside
And they have the big
yeah,
couches and
Harlemer
all.
Strat, yeah.
Right.
And then they have benches outside as well, I think, don't
Yeah,
they? They wrap
the
around
whole
the
around
building.
the spot,
yeah.
yeah. And it is lovely. It's a nice little quiet space.
Yeah, no, it
really,
is.
yeah.
It's hard to find it first, and when you know where it is, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
There's too many corners on that part
Yeah.
of Amsterdam.
It's like you're off the main street, now you're into slightly the suburban area,
Yeah.
into the houses, and you're like, right, there it is.
So when you first looked up, you got the top 3 was Boerenjongens, Tweede Kamer, and
137.
and 137.
When was that?
That was I moved over here in 2017, May 2017, so...
What would you say your 3 are now?
See, we've always talked about this. I smoke a lot of weed, so I buy cheap weed because I want to find good for cheap, but I want quantity over quality. You
That's
know what
how
I
I
mean?
find a good shop.
Okay.
If they have good cheap weed,
Yeah.
they have good expensive weed too.
Yeah, well, that's true as well.
Yeah.
The original damp drink is great for that.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
beautiful.
They
chocolate room with
their
stuff.
menu
Yeah.
went up to $14.50, and then they added Cali, and the Cali goes to 16, and that's as high as their weed goes.
That's sick.
So
And
That's sick.
beautiful
their
quality
Dutch
as
14,
well.
their Cali goes 16.
They've always
you know
been
what I mean?
nice. They've always been, the original dump drink.
The original
Yeah.
damp drink, yeah.
Because I like that they keep the old school as well. They're bringing in nice mixes and whatever they're bringing through of like the newer strains. It's
Yeah.
beautiful, it's quality and it's clean.
Yeah.
But then they're old school as well. Like whenever someone comes over being like, I want some haze, I'll always send them to Dampering. Mainly because
They have
they
the
keep them
old school.
classics.
Was that the one you had at the? Was it old school haze?
Old school haze,
Yeah,
Mexican,
Mexican haze.
and the Neville. Oh,
Wow.
beautiful.
Neville's haze.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's proper old
delicious,
school,
yeah.
that.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then at the moment, Bagheera's has good deals.
Oh, yeah,
Solo's always a
absolutely.
hidden gem, you know.
Yeah.
Solo,
Yeah,
Sure.
it's a little
yeah,
close
Sure.
great little hidden
Bagheera
gem.
is one of my favorite go-tos.
Yeah.
Even on my stream, like I often just default to go to Bagheera.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that when I
know
got
that-
chatting to you, you were sitting outside it the other week.
Yeah.
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 I was waiting on you to go live, and we were having a conversation. Next thing you went live, and you're sitting outside Bagheera's. I
Yeah.
got nice.
Yep.
It's a lovely spot and always like welcoming.
Yeah.
Like the people in there are lovely. The menu's good, and they've started bringing in the ex-cherry farm hash.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Actually,
yeah.
you had asked me in the 4 questions, weed or hash.
Oh.
If we're talking live rosin,
Yeah.
it'd be a tough answer. Actually.
Okay. Yeah.
See, that's nearly we need
See,
to add that in.
I was trying to figure out how I could get.
Weed hash or dabs.
Yeah,
Like,
you know what I mean. But I kind of want to
if
keep
it's-
it one
if
or
it's
the other. I don't
weed
want to be
or-
given.
Or this
I
kind
could
of
add
hash,
it in,
then-
but-
Yes, it's only a third.
I
Because
think you
some
could.
people that are like, fuck your joints.
I think if you're a dabber, I think you'd class it as a kind of a hash, maybe.
Yeah.
When
You
you,
know what I
say,
mean?
when you say weed
You
or
could say
hash,
flower or extract,
there
could
could be
you?
We
a
are-
bonus 5th question, and if they say hash, you could say hash or rosin.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's true.
Just narrow it down.
Would a flower or extract work for hash? No.
No.
Flower or
'Cause
pressed?
I'm not dabbing.
Yeah.
I love hash.
Yeah. Is there a thing that incorporates hash and rosin? Because it's all nearly that kind
Well,
of.
like it falls under hash. It's different types. Someone's
Yeah.
going to call me out and be like, no, it's
Yeah,
not.
no, go
But in my brain, it's different types of how it's made, what way it's made,
yeah,
all that kind of
processes
jazz.
and stuff.
And then it's broken down further. But I think it does all fall under hash. But if you're wondering on what kind of actual smoker they are,
Yeah.
then it's flower hash or
Yeah.
dabs.
Dabs,
I'd say,
yeah.
Right.
No, that's it. I think
I
if it
think
was,
so. More just because if there was a dabber sitting beside me, they're not going to be like, I'm the same as her.
Yeah,
They're like, "Fuck
no,
your tobacco."
100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
they look down on you.
Yeah, 100%.
I really
Love
do
my
enjoy
joints.
live rosin, but I don't subscribe to the whole like live rosin dab blowtorch science rig culture.
Okay, well, this
Drives
is.
me insane.
I'm not.
I
We're
don't
not
know.
dabbers. You know what I mean?
No,
We're
but
just
I'm
joint
I love
smokers.
dabs.
Yeah.
I have a I got from the Amsterdam Coffee Shop Awards guys a
Nice,
Dab X.
yeah.
The audio Kush.
Oh, lovely.
I got
yeah.
a Dab X,
Nice.
and I love that thing.
Yeah.
It's
That's
fantastic.
meant to be a
but
nice
because
one for-
it's
yeah.
just like you know,
So
you just put
simple.
stuff in, you
Yeah,
just-
and is that the one you can leave? You can just
Yeah,
heat it
like
up whenever you
the
want it, and
haze
it's ready to
face
go.
off.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to clean it really. Like
Yeah.
every 50 dabs or so, you just drop it in alcohol for
That's
a
the one
while.
the guy said he'd have it there, and then he's like, "I want a dab." It just hits it, heats up, and it's
Yeah.
ready to go. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
you're
that's
supposed to put kind of a lot in there and just let
okay,
it
and
go.
just
And
work
at the
away. in it.
bottom, the one thing that like a Puffco doesn't have is at the bottom it has this flow system essentially that like runoff and stuff
Yeah.
collects at the bottom in a silicone tray.
Okay,
So you actually have all your reclaim
in the Dab
at
X.
the bottom of it.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
At the very bottom underneath the battery, there's like a little rubber tray, and then
Which-
you can put it in the freezer for 2 minutes, take it out, it just pops right out, and you can put it in edibles or something.
Oh wow! And do we still something in that? You'd still get something out of?
Bro, if I
Like, I know
run
the
a gram
AVB.
through, I get
I
stuff.
suppose that makes
It,
sense.
it's the
Yeah.
equivalent. It's the Dab equivalent of AVB.
Yeah.
I
basically.
have heard
Yeah.
even Craigie saying that with the vaporizer.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll see, like, if you use a certain type of water, like a distilled water, instead of it like staining the whole glass, you'll actually notice that the residue clumps together,
Okay.
and it looks like this kind of like blondie dab.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't go dabbing it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
feels
but
sick
for
as hell.
edibles it would.
I think for that, I don't know the whole potency, but
Yeah.
yeah, there is still definitely
Nice.
cannabinoids
It's
still
mad that
left
you can
in
get
it.
so many use out.
It's
You know what I mean? You can vape it and then eat it
Yeah.
again.
You know
and-
what I
I
do?
suppose it's a way to
I don't.
clean it.
I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, I'm going to take all my reclaim and make edibles. I
Yeah.
just take the reclaim and put it right back in the dab rig and smoke it.
Oh, yeah?
It fucking works.
Would
Yeah.
you get something off? it?
Absolutely, dude.
Wow.
It still tastes good too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's like it's not that it's necessarily spent. It's just what flowed.
It just
through.
poured
And
it, the
that's it,
overflow
yeah.
kind of yeah.
hmm
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just hit that shit again. I don't care. Back in the day in the States when weed was illegal and I would just buy from a dealer and stuff, I would
Yeah.
like when I couldn't find weed, I would totally take my glass pipe and scrape
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the resins
Oh, we've
out
all
and put
done
it.
the grinder,
I-
scrape it.
the worst I
like
ever
you
did.
burn shit and then put
Somewhere.
that into a little ball and put it in the bowl and smoke
Yeah.
it again. Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know. I've gone not
The worst
re-smoked
I
my
ever
stuff,
did
but I have
was,
scraped my
you know,
grinder.
this
Yeah.
bit here.
Uh-huh.
I took the bottom off and we heated it.
Oh my
And
God.
I just smoked the crystals straight, ruined the grinder, but I was
Must've
just kind of like,
worked.
I've no weed. I just burning all them crystals straight in, huffing it. Yeah, the grinder was fucked after
Oh
that.
gosh,
You know what I
I'd
mean?
say
That's
you
hilarious.
are as well.
Desperate times, you know what I mean? It has to be done.
hilarious.
And
I
what part of the
think if you
states you
come
from? Oh,
somewhere,
sorry.
it's- No, just if
I'm
it's
from
somewhere-
Illinois in the Midwest.
Illinois.
Yeah.
Is that got weed now?
Yeah, it's legal there. Yeah.
Medical or?
Completely recreational, everything.
Okay,
Beautiful.
nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
And
Um,
is there like a social club scene, or is it just dispensaries?
I have no
still?
idea. I've been living in Europe since 2009.
Okay,
yeah.
I visited for like
Oh,
2 weeks.
when you
2
came here in
years ago.
2009, you've been here ever since in
Yeah.
Europe, pretty much. Wow.
Yeah, I moved to
Wow,
Barcelona
okay.
briefly in 2012, but I just couldn't find work there. It was like
The
money
was
wouldn't be as
peak
great
crisis
either,
over
yeah.
There was nothing to do with teach English, and that was boring the hell out of me. So I
Okay.
came back to Amsterdam afterwards.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And you got started on Twitch during lockdown, didn't you? Or was that where you blew up? Or
Yeah, but it had nothing really to do with lockdowns.
Okay, because I, think it was
just right place,
Gasman
right
said
time.
you were delivering food and just streaming that.
Well, delivering food, I did do that, but it kind of came at the tail end of the lockdowns.
Okay.
Because I was just like kind of getting bored with walking around an abandoned city, but that was
Yeah.
like kind of the draw of my stream in the beginning. But I started streaming because I used to be a software engineer, and I kind of got overworked.
Okay.
And found myself in a burnout,
Yeah.
and was taking time off.
Yeah.
And I was like kind of catching up on all the games I didn't play because I
Yeah.
was working so
Nice.
much.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
then at some point I was like, maybe I should stream this just for fun because I
Yeah.
was gaming till like 5 a.m. I was
Might
like,
as well
let's
let somebody
broadcast
watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to see what it's like because I was also watching a lot of streamers and speedrunners and stuff like that. So I was like, I want to like let's just try this too. So I just tossed a little money into getting a little setup
Setup,
going
yeah.
on, microphone cameras and shit
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and set up OBS and all that jazz, and then started playing games for a while, and it was fun, and it took off a bit, and then people were like, "Yo, you live in the Netherlands? Why don't you just go outside in Amsterdam and walk around?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's figure it out. So I started looking up like Pokemon Go streamers and how they do it.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
based my IRL setup off of what the Pokemon Go streamers do,
Ah.
and then it just kind of took off because what I didn't realize was that there was indeed a hunger, like a thirst for IRL
Yeah.
content because a lot of people were just stuck inside.
And they want to see the
I
world.
didn't even think about
And
that.
like
Yeah.
Amsterdam, it's one of the main spots.
There was
It's
nobody
beautiful.
doing IRL content in Amsterdam at the time.
Wow.
I was the first one.
Wow.
Like there are Dutch streamers like Serpent, Daniel Lippens, a couple other guys who went outside every once in a while
Yeah.
with a live view, like maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
But I was just like, let's just stay
Just walk the
outside.
streets and just, yeah.
And I started doing like
100%.
15-hour streams, 20-hour
Wow.
streams, like doing like a week straight, nonstop,
Yeah.
sleeping, everything. Just like, here's Amsterdam.
Leave
life.
it on while you're sleeping and all?
Yeah, sure.
Wow,
they
that's
would just like
crazy.
pay money to wake me up.
Oh, you can have buzzers and mad shit and all?
Yeah, I mean that kind of shit. But then I started to take it a little further because like I came from a background of programming, and I started to like get more interested in it again
Yeah.
because the burnout made me like I don't want to look at code anymore.
No,
Yeah.
fair.
But then
I want the
streaming-
fun side of it.
Streaming made me want to do it again, and I started doing some stuff where like I was mixing the Twitch API with some IoT devices in my house. So I
Okay.
made it so like people could use channel points to turn on my coffee machine in the morning.
That's
What?
hilarious.
Yeah, and I have it right next to the bed, so I just like start smelling coffee and I wake up, and they see me
That's-
on camera waking up and making me.
That's mental,
That's
isn't it?
no, man. That's
Did
nuts.
shit like this. Yeah, I set up some things like
So people just come on and like pay to make you coffee in the morning.
the
Oh,
coffee.
well, they're
the
kinda-
coffee thing was free actually, but I mean you could set it to be for tips or for subscribers.
But you
but
could
I
have,
think-
Like,
like
just
a-
even like I'm gonna get on and make him a
It was
coffee.
actually-
But
That's fun.
it was more, I'd say it was more for people to torture you, was it? The wake up thing?
yeah. So like the wake up thing was like to torture me and
Yeah,
and that was
they
for
have
money.
buzzers and
If you want to
lights.
wake me up and disturb my sleep, it's gonna cost you.
Yeah.
But I noticed that after a while, if you do it for a long time, you just get used to it. You just sleep through all that shit.
Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
keep
They're
through
paying
all
extra, like I
alarms.
still can't wake up, yeah.
So I started adding other things
I
like
should do
I
that.
Yeah.
surrounded my bed with lights, smart lights, and made it so that for a certain amount of money, they can trigger something called a solar flare, which turns on all these lights at max brightness. They're like inches away from my head,
Cooking
where
your
I'm
face.
sleeping on the pillow, and just boom, and a really loud noise to go with it,
Yeah.
and
That's crazy.
I just want to
yeah.
like take it further, just to make it so they can actually wake me up. I've also taken
Go streaming.
analog reel-to-reel tape recorder from the 1970s, like the big tape reels.
Beautiful.
I had that thing set up, and I had some old recordings on there of like really loud classical music and stuff, and they could fire that off and turn it on.
So
and
you
it's
wired
blasting
this
me with
old
music.
school thing to your new computer.
I had
Fucking-
1970s technology able to be triggered with channel points and stuff.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Oh, I'm so glad, like, because it is. I think when you start working a job and then when you have that burnout, it can go one way or the other. I'm so glad you're using your skills and tools for
It
this
started as a
kind
hobby,
of
it became a
thing.
career. I hated it, and then it got
Yeah.
to become a hobby again.
Yeah.
Nice, because you're doing it for you.
And now you're doing it full
I
time.
Doing the things I want to do with it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
sure, it's fucking 24/7. Couldn't waking you up.
Lately, I don't do it as
Yeah.
extreme as I used to.
That's how you get out there. That's how you get the following, you know what I mean?
I want to do it again though. But the
Yeah,
thing is, like when I'm
nice.
thinking about
Yeah.
my future plans, it's like I can't actually squeeze in a marathon stream right now because I need so much offline time to do other things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
that's
currently
it.
planning planning to move to Thailand.
Okay,
And,
you were just over there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there for 6 months. And
Nice.
I love it so much that I'm like, I want to move there. I'm kind of done with
Nice,
Amsterdam,
man.
and I felt
Yeah.
that for a while.
It's a whole
You know.
different lifestyle.
Oh, definitely.
From
Yeah.
The
here
weed scene over
to-
there is growing, and it's absolutely incredible over there. It's so
And,
cool what's
it's
going
good
on.
quality?
How much passion they have. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've been to
You gotta
Thailand
find the
years
right
ago and it
shop.
was just Thai stick, you know what I mean? So to know that they've good
That's
weed
over.
now,
You
yeah.
can still find that if you look hard.
Yeah, I don't want it. You can find it here if you look hard
A
enough.
lot of those
Nobody's
shops
looking.
still sell it because like the older people still like
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
I have people
Over
come
it.
into my shop because we had it in my shop for a long time. It
Thai
was like
used to be in all the shops.
yeah, and then people come in and go, do you still have the Thai sticks? Like,
purple
"Oh, I haven't
tie. I
had that
saw.
in
Or they would
years.
always
Yeah.
have purple haze.
Yeah.
It's just some like
With the
brick
red twine around it and
Who
shit.
has a
Like,
high society in Leiden?
they have
They
it?
have Thai
Okay.
stick, and I honestly, I got your man to take it out of the box, but it was more. It wasn't on the stick. It was more of the, I think, like the Jamaican style. It was a proper, more like block.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it was like a
Right.
clump of like wet hay.
Yeah,
Like,
I got
it
that in
was
Thailand
mad.
before. It was literally like a Rice Krispie square.
Yeah,
that in
and
Laos.
just like
Yeah, and you're pulling out lumps of seeds and sticks and
Yeah.
everything. And
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
like
right,
nearly
there's a
watched
joint,
it for
yeah.
the experience.
Like in Thailand, when you're on the Paradise Island smoking that joint, you don't care what you're
No,
smoking.
It doesn't
that is
matter.
the
You
best
smoke
joint
40
in
joints,
the
it's
world.
fine.
Yeah. And now that you can have that plus good weed,
Yeah.
that's a bonus. And what are the shops like?
Okay, so I mean, it is a little bit different than it is here.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
yeah.
For sure, and there is, it's not as free as it is here. Like it's
Okay.
not, it's frowned upon to go walk down the street smoking a joint over
Yeah.
there. You shouldn't do
Okay.
that, you know,
Yeah.
especially in like the busy areas. But
Yeah.
there's definitely some areas where it doesn't matter. Khao San Road, you know, the
Bangkok, yeah.
backpacker area, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell. It's more your respect buzz if it's family.
But if your hotel has a balcony, I've smoked on every balcony I've
Okay,
ever had.
nice.
It's fine. So, but the dispensaries are like, there's weird rules on it, man. Like, and it's changing every week, and there's definitely like police are involved in it too.
Oh,
In a
over
way that,
there,
like, they're like tossing
100%.
money so that they let them advertise and stuff like that. Like,
Oh.
because like, okay, so I'll give you an example to maybe clarify this. When I was in Chiang Mai, there's this really great dispensary called Pink Leaf. Shout out Pink Leaf. Those guys are amazing. They're so
Okay.
good. If you're in
Yeah.
Chiang Mai and Thailand, go to Pink Leaf. They're amazing.
Nice.
So they're really great quality control, and they always kept their prices low, like 400 baht a gram for everything
Okay.
across the board.
What would that be in euros?
That's about €12.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I remember
Everything
1,000
across the
baht was
board.
around 25
But
to
that's just for
30 when
single
I was
gram
there.
prices, man. Like when you buy 4 grams, you're getting like 3 grams for free or some shit like that. It's
Okay.
crazy. So it's, you pay 1,200 baht and you get like 7 grams or something. It's crazy. They
Okay,
have really
nice.
great deals there, and their weed is really good. And one of their growers works there, so like
Okay,
he's switching time
proper
between.
in between. That's
Yeah,
nice.
and they were also
Yeah.
they're talking to a lot of other dispensaries and farms and growers and stuff, and curating. So they're getting tons of samples. you
Yeah.
know,
Nice,
and they're
yeah.
just picking the best ones. And I was sitting with them sometimes and trying samples, and I was helping them pick ones. I was like, this one is definitely the better out of the two. And like,
Yeah.
they're really passionate about it,
No,
right?
Nice.
Even
So
to get outside information.
Their shop is
yeah.
really lovely decorated. It's like, it feels like people on my stream are always asking me like, are you at somebody's house?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nice.
like it just kind of
Like
felt
Yo-Yo.
like somebody's,
Yeah.
yeah, like somebody's like kind of modern apartment sort of, because it has like a big ass TV and a PS5 and everyone's just
No
gaming on
way.
the couch, and it's never too busy, but there's a lot of locals there. so-
Yeah. And that's nice with the locals. It's not just a tourist thing as
Yeah.
well, you know
But
what I
then
mean?
they have decorations on there on the wall. Like one of them was a sign in front of the door that looks like a "Sorry, we're closed," but it says "Sorry, we're stoned."
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one day, just this one girl is working there by herself. The fucking health board and the drug administrators come in.
No way.
And they just start fucking inspecting.
Yeah.
Say you can't have this, can't have that, can't have this, can't have that, blah 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 blah. All
And
this
she's like,
other
what the
stuff.
fuck?
They made him take down that sign.
No, sorry, we're stoned.
Yeah, it can't be there. It's not allowed.
Fucking
like
hell.
you can sell weed, but you can't advertise it. The weed had to be hidden.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
sure.
like Amsterdam kind of
But-
rules. Like,
yeah,
but,
but you don't have to hide the weed in
Yeah.
Amsterdam, and you don't have to hide the weed in Thailand.
well, here you
Well,
can't
it has to be-
advertise. We can't have a weed leaf, or we can't have
That-
more than the
yeah.
word coffee shop outside. you know
And
No,
what I mean?
yeah, I don't know, but we're talking about they had jars on their countertop inside the shop, and they
Yeah.
said they
Yeah.
couldn't have that.
Okay.
But that's
Yeah.
like every shop in Thailand has that.
Yeah.
Like literally
Okay,
every.
yeah.
So
They're
they're
probably
like-
just wanting to pay out.
Yes,
You
and
know
there
what I
was
mean?
just this girl who worked there who does not have the power to do
Yeah,
something like that.
or to
Or
like-
no,
to
to be
register.
like, yeah, just
Yes,
yeah.
or to know to that, like here's what you do when they come
Or
come
how
by, and they
much,
just
yeah.
they just reamed them. They really did. Like they literally had in the back room. They had that stupid trending Temu astronaut that shoots lasers out. It's on
Okay.
TikTok.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
They
there's
had
this-
one, and they said you can't have that in here.
What?
Like why not? Because it shows an atmosphere that you're trying to allow people to hang out here.
Does the chairs not also give
Yeah.
that kind of vibe?
Yeah.
Like
They
it's-
made him take out the PS5.
Oh, for fuck's
You can't have
sake.
that here. Why? Because it means that you're letting people play it. And then the owner was like, "It's my PS5.
Yeah.
It's mine. It has my account on it. I play it here." And
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah, it's
I
crazy.
suppose
Well, I'd say
they
it's just the
don't-
payout.
Yeah, it is that, and it's not understanding
Yep.
that it's actually better to have cannabis with a social aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then once it's like illegal and taboo and shunned upon, everyone smokes and you stay at home.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
if we can just comfortably smoke and go and do our thing,
Right.
Well,
shit
the
gets
people are going to
done.
complain if people have somewhere to buy it but nowhere to smoke it. They're going to be smoking it everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas you're controlling it by going, smoke it here. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
It's
You know
strange
what I
what
mean?
they've done
Yeah.
with the rules over there. At first, what they said was when they first made it legal, like a year or so ago, they said you can buy it and you can smoke it, but only inside the dispensaries. So all these dispensaries built up and made these beautiful lounges.
Yeah.
And then 6 months into it, they're like, hold
Only
on.
takeaway.
Hold on. You are not allowed to smoke in these places. So all these places had these big fucking rooms,
Yeah.
and these beautiful lounges that you
thousands
cannot
spent
be in.
into
Yeah.
it.
Can't do anything with them, and they're just like these empty ass lounges. So people
Fuck.
just show up, use the table to roll and leave or something, and that's
Oh,
all
it's
they
so
ever do.
Sad.
Yeah, but and then a lot of shops still now you can smoke in them.
Okay, they're kind of just like, fuck it, let's do it till it happens.
Well, pretty much, but the
Or they're
cops
just
still
paying
enforce
off enough.
this.
Exactly. Yeah.
This. The cops show
Thailand's
up, they're like, why are there
crazy.
people smoking here? They're like, here's,
Yeah, shut up,
here's
go
your-
away.
Here's a month's salary
Yeah.
and a bribe, and then they go
A
away.
friend of mine, he opened, a friend of mine's uncle opened the pub over there, and I called in on my way home from Australia, and he was telling me he was trying to get it set up, going to the government, all this stuff, and basically somebody said to him, you got to go to the Mafia. They're the people who get it sorted. So he
Kinda.
basically got talking to the Mafia. The Mafia showed up, the police showed up, he handed an envelope to the Mafia, an envelope to the police, and the next day he had his licence.
Yeah.
So that's how connected it is. They show up together. Pay him, pay us. Right now, there you go.
I mean-
Whoa.
Yeah, just two factions
I
of
don't
a
wanna
different
say
gangster
too much about
organizations.
this because I
You want to
plan on
live there?
living
Yeah.
but
I don't think
like,
Thai people watch this.
Well, listen, I have Thai viewers. For
Yeah.
sure, yeah, but look, there is definitely an issue with that, and the
Yeah.
government recognizes it and wants to
100%,
change this.
It's like Morocco.
But
and
Yeah.
you have to think about how it is to live there, and also think about how much police make over there. They make very little,
Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
really little. They don't
Yeah.
make a lot of money, and those bribes are often more than their month's salary.
Wow.
You know,
That's how they're surviving. Like,
it's really like it's not just for the police. It's just pay in general is really low.
yeah,
You know,
no,
like
it's
the
it's a whole
average-
broken culture
I
from
think you
top
get
to
like
bottom.
300 baht a day working at a 7-Eleven, something along that line.
And
Something
as you
like
said,
that.
1,000 baht is like 25 euro, so 300 baht as well.
Yeah,
Like,
1,000 is 25,
less than a
yeah.
tenner, 8 euro or something.
Yeah,
Like.
it's some that's like the minimum wage for like a
Yeah.
student working at 7-Eleven
Yeah.
is like that.
I remember
It's crap.
talking to one of the girls one night, like after my first night, I'd spent like 9,000 baht or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I earned a month or something like that. I spent on my first night there,
Yeah, I had
just
some
going.
Thai viewers when I bought weed. They're like, "How much does that weed cost?" And I was like, "Oh, it's like 1,000 baht." They're like, "Holy shit!" Like,
Yeah,
you could buy like 40 meals. With
Yeah,
that. Like,
that's us eating
'cause
for a
you
month,
can.
like,
It's
yeah.
like 45 baht to eat a meal there, like best meal you ever.
yeah.
had
You
in
go
your
out
life.
for a restaurant, yeah, it's like a
It's cheap as shit.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
One walk, they're making up a whole fucking restaurant.
And it's
you
the
know
best
what I
food
mean?
you've ever
yeah.
had in your life.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
crazy.
And that's why I don't mind paying 1,000 baht for a gram of weed every once in a while.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like I just spent 12 cents on dinner.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah,
I can
100%.
splash out a little, treat myself.
Yeah.
Mad. And is there a big like expat scene in?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
There was before
Yeah.
this, so I can only imagine what it's like
It's,
now.
honestly,
you know what I mean?
it's
Yeah.
bordering on nuisance levels. For,
Okay.
It's a lot of Russian as well
I've been
because
kinda
that's
tapped
their
into, like,
local, that's
Thai
their
Twitter
Spain. You know
for a
what I
while
mean?
now.
It's so close. You know what I mean? So when I was there, there was a whole Russian nightclub, Russian section, and all Russian.
Pattaya is completely
Pattaya,
overrun
yeah.
by Russian mafia stuff. It's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. It's
weird.
literally when I first went there in
A lot of Russian
2011, they were
businesses.
just starting to build it. When I went back there, like 5 or 6 years later, it was like a Russian. Yeah,
What?
Yeah.
but that's their local.
Yeah,
That's,
no,
if
it's
they want to
just
go
you
to
don't
Spain
think-
on a holiday,
They go
Thailand's their
Thailand.
closest place, and it's cheap, and it's, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
a lot
It's
of
mad
Russians.
just where you are in the world, what culture
That's there, yeah.
you see more of.
Yeah, like
Ah,
if you're
that's
seeing Russians or like Americans or Australians in Spain or like in Santa Ponsa or something, you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? You know what I mean?
It's
Where they're
always
like,
our side of the
yeah,
crew.
it's
Yeah.
very
yeah, like we
strange.
saved up a lot of money
I-
to come
Yeah.
here.
I really disliked Pattaya.
Yeah, I loved it.
No, sorry, not Pattaya. Phuket.
Okay, I hate Phuket as well.
I mixed it up. I'm so
Phuket
sorry.
is like
Pattaya
this-
is not really overrun by Russians. Phuket is really overrun.
Okay,
by
Pattaya is
Russians.
a little bit as well.
A
Maybe
little bit.
I was only
Phuket is complete. Like there's signs in Russian everywhere.
Okay,
and
it's that
stuff.
bad,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But when I first went there, my friends had a apartment in Pattaya, so we stayed there for a whole month. So that's where I know the most of it. Literally, it's like it has the city of Bangkok, but it's on a beach. So it's like a 2 or 3 mile coast with a city going along it. So you have a beach all here, city here, so you have everything, you know what I mean? And hidden beaches, crazy city, everything, you know what I mean? Nice. Where Bangkok is city and Phuket is more beach, so it's kind of...
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's an island, so...
okay,
and
nice.
Phuket has a one thing that I discovered while I was there is literally a very obvious and not hidden taxi mafia.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's impossible to get like a Grab, like an Uber kind of thing. It's impossible to get that there because it's hard to get.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a story. Around the time I was there in Phuket City, I was by the Shell station and I was trying to get an Uber so I can get the fuck back to my hotel because I was like, I'm so done with this. And everyone was denying my rides over and over for like a half hour. I was like, what is going on? And one of my viewers from Thailand was like, wait a minute, can you turn around and show where you're at? And I showed it and they're like, oh, wait, hold on. They posted a link to a news article. I'd like you guys to see this. Jamie, can you pull this up?
We're not that advanced just yet. If you give it to me, I can put it on the screen after.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, so I could. This Uber driver picked up someone at the Shell gas station I was standing at.
Yeah.
Taxi driver saw it, pulled him out of the car, and beat the daylights out of him. Like it became a brawl between drivers at this Shell station. It was a whole thing all over the news.
So it was like,
my dumb ass was there trying to get an Uber ride
in that same
4
place
days later.
Trying to recreate history.
So they've like held down this area as in like don't pick up
the
rides
island.
here. This is
Basically.
Wow.
Dude, Grab exists and they'll be there, but there's a lot of people be like sit in the front seat.
Okay.
Like, and if it's Thai people, they will say like, say you're my brother.
That's
if
crazy.
they stop you, because like
so the legit one has to be dodgier. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a taxi driver will pull up and they'll see a guy who's not a taxi driver and see if they got the phone mounted there to see if they're doing Grab or something like that, and then they'll get pissed. You know, so they have to like hide their phones and shit.
Yeah, no, it is.
Or just get a bike. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Cycling.
Well, what everyone has told me because there was a lot of people who like hang out in Thailand a lot who were watching my streams while I was there.
Yeah.
Because they were, I don't know, people get interested in that. Like they want to like guide you
especially if
around
you've been there, you want to see.
They want to see your experience of it too.
Yeah.
And what a lot of them were saying is like, yo, next time you go to Phuket, you just got to get your own scooter.
Yeah. In Pattaya, I get scooter first day.
Pattaya, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I just use the bot buses there. It's 10 baht. You just sit there and it just circles around
if you go
the city.
from like all the way down, like you've Walking Street, but like all the way down to First Street, it's like 3 miles away or something, you know what I mean? And then we go to John T.M., which is the other side. So we be on the scooters all day. Like it's a 4 or 5 mile distance. You're like, let's go down the other spot. You know what I mean?
I was terrified to get a scooter. So, okay.
Were you there for Songkran?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's
It
one of the greatest.
It was annoying after day 3. Man.
Okay,
for like 12 days this
it's
year.
crazy though. It's one of the wildest few days. It's a water fight. Yeah.
I
had an eye infection.
In Pattaya, they go bigger. Yeah, that will do it all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
you
it
can
is
imagine
wild.
they're just pulling water from anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yo. I was watching people pissing themselves. There were girls that were peeing themselves and then just taking the water and just pouring it on themselves afterwards to rinse it out of their jorts.
Jesus Christ. Some places will get a giant block of ice dropped off and wait till that melts.
Yeah.
And then they're charging people to refill their water pistols or their buckets.
Yeah.
But this is ice water.
Yeah,
You're going down the street in a scooter and somebody chose a bucket of ice water over your back. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Oh
man, it's
crazy.
crazy.
Of trying to preserve my equipment, which is not waterproof.
Yeah, but it's resistant maybe.
My camera is very resistant. It's made to go on motorcycle helmets.
Okay,
for those kind of rides and shit. It's weather resistant for sure. But the way that you use it as a streamer is you remove the back and plug things into it.
Okay, so now it's not
exposed. It's absolutely not waterproof anymore. You have to take measures. I wrapped my camera in several condoms.
Literal condoms.
Durex condoms.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it worked.
They give you them things for your phones. Like it's like a plastic, and you can zip it up, and that's where your phone goes. You can do videos through that.
But with my iPhone, I have the 15 Pro Max. I just let my iPhone be naked,
and it was fine.
Case, it was just in my swimming trunks the whole time. Yeah, it's completely waterproof.
Like, can you go underwater with that?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like you shouldn't dive with it, but it can go underwater for like a half hour before it gets problems.
Okay. Wow. That's
so
nice.
I had my phone is totally fine after Songkran, and it was not protected at all.
Into it to charge it.
USB-C.
And the water doesn't go in there in the speakers, right?
No. No,
Wow.
this
You
thing was
don't
just
put
here in my
anything
front left
in it.
pocket the whole Songkran.
That's
Swimming
crazy.
trunks. It was soaked. It's
Yeah.
fine. Like when the
Solid.
screen is wet, it's hard to touch. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
no
of
Yeah.
problem,
course. But the
that's
fact that it doesn't
normal.
get fucked up is
No
Yeah.
problem whatsoever. Songkran, you don't need to have any protection for your iPhone. I mean,
Nice.
Like,
anyway,
I'm
but-
looking in for a phone, but I'm like, I'm not buying it until I'm also buying a chunky ass case.
Yeah, okay,
My
yeah.
chat phone is fucked up though because it's like
Yeah.
it's a Redmi Note 11, some cheap Android.
That's what
phone.
you use
Yeah.
just for the
Yeah,
conversations.
it has like a plastic back, and I had sealed it with electrical tape. But the seam between the screen and the phone itself is not waterproof. I didn't know that, so
Okay.
it got in through there, and now
Oh,
my
for
screen is kind of fucked up. A
No
little bit.
way.
Like it's the typing is a little weird.
But you
on it now.
you
Still
use
works, though.
use that just to see the chat. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no big
And then
deal.
what kind of camera do you use for the live?
The Sony FDR X3000, just the same Sony cam all the IRL streamers use.
Okay,
basically.
nice,
And it's
yeah.
moved on a bit now, but most people still use that action cam.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
It's this discontinued action cam that you got to find secondhand.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't even make them anymore.
No, not
Okay.
since years. Yeah.
We had Stephanie Quattro on the podcast. She was saying you helped her
Yeah.
set up her whole setup and
I
stuff.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, big love too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the best. I once I became partner on Twitch, I wanted to see like what can I do with this, like how can I like I'm like how could I give back? It's not like I'm in some great grand
No, but
position or
like,
anything.
it's-
No, but it's
But I
helping
thought about
guide
like what did I
people.
struggle with the
Yeah.
most, and that
Yeah.
was figuring out how to do IRL streaming.
Okay.
Because I reached out to so many IRL streamers and nobody would give me the answers straight up on like what
Like
equipment to use.
gatekeeping a bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, it might be just like they don't have time to answer every 500th person who says this, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
my shit got.
Or
lost in
even
the sea
just to
of
break it
DMs,
out,
or-
if you ask the right questions, he might give you the answer. But if you just want, how do I do everything? They're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck, mate? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Like,
would even
it's,
get like ask a question like, hey, how did you get like sounds to come out of your speaker,
yeah,
like through channel points or through things like how did you make that connection happen? And I can't get that answer, and it's like like
yeah, shit
little-
like that.
Yeah, and like eventually I found other streamers who were a little more open about it, other
Yeah.
smaller streamers
Yeah.
who had figured it out, but I just kind of found my way on my own.
Yeah.
and did it with just a phone and
No, it's
some
nice that you help other
services.
people out. You know what I mean? Instead of I figured it out, haha.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a handful of guys that do IRL tech stuff, and they're streamers too, but they do so much more programming. Like this guy Beck, B3CK is his username on
Okay.
Twitch. He's amazing. He does like IRL stuff and fishing and all kinds of shit, but he also is a developer who worked with a couple other guys who has made some tools that almost every IRL streamer uses.
Okay,
Like this-
nice.
Like for example, when our camera cuts out and it just moves over to like a scene with clips.
Yeah.
Like that's a script that
Yeah, because sometimes I click on yours, you've just got like a trailer of your other videos.
Yeah, but the act of switching those scenes automatically is done by a script that is written by these guys.
Oh, wow.
Like, and it's just like other streamers have built. Like,
And they've
these
shared it
tools.
now for
Yeah.
everyone to
Oh,
use.
it's always been open
Yeah.
source.
Nice.
It's actually used in
That's
almost
sick.
every IRL setup.
Oh, wow.
develops.
That's pretty
So-
cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I've seen Mr. Beast talking about they've set up a website, all the tools they built themselves like that to help them build, and now
Yeah.
they've made a whole website to share it back on like thumbnail comparison and all these other kind of things.
Sure.
But he literally like that wrote his own code, made his own tools, and now he's like for new streamers,
Right.
you can
Here's
get this
how to
kind
do
of.
it, yeah.
When I became partner, I was like, what I want to do is that like I wanted to open my doors to make it so that if anyone needs help with getting started with IRL streaming, ask me.
Yeah.
So I have even a section in my Discord that's all about stream tech stuff. And what I didn't expect to happen was other like IRL streaming tech nerds showed up to my Discord and kind of just camped that channel.
Okay.
So if I'm not there to answer it, if it happened in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping or something, or while I'm streaming, someone else might have answered
Nice.
it. Or other
Absolutely.
viewers who have just been listening to me babble about it for
Yeah,
years.
they've heard
already know
it.
the
Oh, he
answers.
said
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
works or this is good for that. And that's nice.
So I was just like,
Them
one
Discords
thing I want to do
seems
is make sure that other people can like get this tech in their hands so they can just focus on creating. And
Yeah.
Not, and
Yeah.
not like how
Trying
does
to
all this
figure
shit
it
work?
Yeah, that's it.
you know,
I,
like-
the tech side of it, I haven't got a clue. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
enjoy
well,
this.
If you ever want help,
Yeah.
I enjoy the
Yeah.
sitting, the chatting, the smoking. You know what I mean? Everything else, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? You know? What I
I
mean?
always offer this. If anyone who listens to this podcast is interested in getting in IRL streaming and stuff and want to do it with like a camera or want to do it with a phone, whatever, you can hit me up. My name is
Nice.
Reydempto everywhere on all socials, and I'm always happy to answer that stuff.
Nice, man. That's cool. Fair play to you.
Big respect.
I
This
want-
is
I
with
want
a lot
people
of
to be able to do
jumping
that.
in.
Yeah.
I feel like IRL streaming is kind of like a gig economy. So like the more IRL streamers there are, the more eyes there are. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
You know, everyone's gonna bring their own little pool of viewers and stuff that came from other communities and stuff, and that means that more people are going to watch all of us. So I think it's important to make more IRL streamers. That
Yeah,
on
no,
Twitch,
for sure.
just long form.
And people want to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I never thought of it myself. Like, as you said, looking around the city, because we live here, you get kind of complacent, you get kind of bored to the whole
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean? They're like, people are like, I just want to see the streets.
Yeah.
You're like, that's the streets
Whereas
I walk
back
to work.
then,
You know what I
before
mean?
moved
Like,
here, I would in a heartbeat
Yeah.
as well. Like, I'd love to see Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, really, it's a big thing. It's a nice, even the way you're saying with the Discord. Yeah, like yourself, and then as well.
the strain
Strain
caners. Do you know the strain
Of
caners?
course I do.
Man, that's an entity of itself.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that Discord.
I've tried to grill these guys so many times. Like, what do you guys do? And they're like, what do you mean? What do we do?
Yeah.
We get high. Like,
yeah, that's it. Like, you know what I mean?
But when I first
Yeah.
met them, I thought that they were some sort of like organized YouTube channel
Yeah.
that was putting out hardcore content. I didn't know that, and then I looked into them. I was like, where is it?
Yeah.
And then I felt like, oh, it's like these guys are just kind of like just broing down and
Just,
smoking
yeah,
weed around
doing
the
it whenever
world.
they want,
Yeah,
like,
okay, that's cool. I like that.
We had them on the podcast. I don't think they've actually uploaded any like new content since before we had them on like 6 months ago or something. Like, you know what I mean? So
They're
it's
classic stoners.
yeah, pretty much. Like, they go live every now and again, and that's it.
But I
But
think it's what they've built is phenomenal.
oh, it's crazy. Like, it's
thousands of people from all across the
Yeah.
world, all have something in common, have this space to come, connect, communicate.
Yeah.
Like it's
like in that
is
Discord, you'll
beautiful.
probably have someone in Amsterdam all the time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's nearly
Sure.
every week there's somebody messaging, I'm here, here's the new menus, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, like and it just keeps growing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though they don't put up content, even though they don't do much stuff, it's become its own thing.
No,
and
it's
it
just
just
a Discord
grows and
community,
grows.
basically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is a cool. I haven't looked into
What are you
it.
smoking on?
I don't remember. It came from coffee shop, whatever the fuck down the street.
Does it
Yeah.
uh,
There's quite a
Blue
few
Sea?
randoms.
Nope. Before Ibiza.
Oh, DNL?
That's the one.
Okay, yeah, I didn't even know that existed until I moved in here.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
either, and it's okay, I guess.
Do you know
The
what?
weed
I
was alright.
smelt their. I went in there with Haze Face well yesterday. I smelt two of their strains, two of their indicas, and last time I smelt them, I thought they smelled hazy, and then we walked there. He was like, "They all smell like haze," you know what I mean? So, yeah, no, they had a few indicas. Like, nah.
I know this hash is Hia.
Okay,
That's all I know.
you like a hash?
Yeah, it's a
I'm not a
traditional
hash smoker.
It's I had to burn it to.
I've seen you burn. I haven't seen
Yeah.
that since the old school days. Like,
Yeah.
I do sometimes just sit on it. I have sweaty hands, so sometimes if I just hold my hash for long enough, it's a hard
you
hash.
want a drink around?
I still have this. Thank
Oh
you.
my god,
Yeah.
I've lost coffee.
Oh, yeah, coffee. Forgot about it.
What is that open jar of brown liquid?
That's
That
her iced
is-
coffee.
Oh, okay.
Fairy go-go juice.
My sample.
Okay.
I remember, I know this is a really random story, but I remember one time we were at the Jack Hare Cup and my partner forgot his like alcohol for his dab tools. So I ran back over to the hotel to grab it. But as I was walking back across, realised what I was walking with was two like plastic lunch boxes with yellow liquid.
Oh, Jesus
And it
Christ.
full on looked like I was just walking along with like a piss sample, and I was just like, oh my god,
This is
why
not
didn't I
what's
know
thinking
about
it,
this in
yeah.
a bag?
That's hilarious.
Because if you don't know,
Yeah.
you don't know dabbing.
What else
Most
is it?
people,
You know what I mean?
Most stoners don't know what.
I don't know who
the
pissed in lunch
alcohol-
boxes, but what else could that yellow liquid be?
You know
if
what
you
I
see
mean?
it, you know
I
what
was
mean?
walking out with two pots of yellow
You just
piss.
hear
That's
It's
exactly
like,
the shit I
oh.
hate about dabbing, by the way.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
having to have all this equipment.
It's too much effort,
the
you
people
know
that
what
show
I
up
mean?
with those like pelican cases or whatever.
Yeah,
like-
they're like assassins.
yeah, yeah. What the hell is this?
You know what I mean? And I always
I
say
can't
they
do
always
it.
forget one item that ruins their whole dab. They're like, fuck, I forgot my gas or my torch or
I'm
my
just sitting
this
here
or
with
my
my
banger.
Puffco pen, like,
Yeah, and they're literally like,
sucks, man.
fuck, my whole day is ruined. Where I'm like, have you got a paper? Nice joint. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I do
Yeah.
get the extra high and all this, blah blah blah, but it's so much effort. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's. Are you doing that for 7:10? On next Wednesday is 7:10. You know what that is?
Yeah, well, I know I know the significance of the number, but
Well,
is there an event
They're
happening?
doing there is an
Yeah.
event. Where is it?
It's I can't remember the exact location, but it's just on the border of Amsterdam, just south.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's quite like accessible. But they've done like an events for like the last kind of like 5 or 6 years now.
Okay.
So it's kind of just like a big session. There'll be
Where
like
is it at?
stalls. We'll send it on. Chat.
Okay.
But it's on 710 in Amsterdam. You'll
Okay.
see it on
That's at the Instagram page.
Yeah.
I'll be there with my my Dabex.
Yeah, big
That's it.
fan. It seems like they've got like beautiful numbers. There's loads of sponsors coming.
Sick.
Stalls,
Nice.
Everything's
And Fairy
Good
House.
day to- We'll see. I'll be floating along. I'll be floating and getting high. I might have a easy day off and just get blazed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it should. It's good. It's lovely to see just like more stuff happening in the community.
Yeah,
you know
no,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like 710, 420, they're like the big days. Of,
Yeah.
They're like our holiday
710 get
days.
two of them, which is we
Yeah.
only get one 420. They can do the American 710 and the
Ooh.
European 710.
We need to just create here's International Stoners Day in like
There's
September.
no 2120 day.
Why do we need a day?
Yeah, every
Like, smoke
day.
weed every day.
That,
But you know what it is? Stoners are lazy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
That if you put one pinpoint, you're guaranteed to get them all. Whereas like if it's all the time.
every
stoners
day you
are
won't get them
slow,
all.
yeah.
But 420, you'll definitely get everyone rolling
Everyone's
through.
like,
like,
okay, I'm not going
Yeah.
out this weekend, but I know in 2 weeks' time that's
Yeah,
happening.
big
You know what I
right,
mean?
right,
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
saving the good weed and their, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah, no,
some nice wax there. I might save that for 420. Making up good edibles.
I always say
Yeah.
it's April 20th somewhere, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
But actually, I always see the meme, and it's like 420 when stoners smoke weed for the day. You know what I mean? Like smoke weed every day. 420, smoke weed all day.
Yeah. Love it. Gotta be doing it.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's any excuse. You know what I mean? Just get people together, get high.
I usually have been like giving out weed on my streams on,
Okay.
on 420 when I'm in Amsterdam at least.
Yeah.
Or like I had a shitload of live rosin on 420, like 4 or 5 grams or something, and then a bunch of weed and a bunch of hash. And I was just like visiting different coffee shops and just sitting there smoking and streaming. And I would like open up one of these jars, take a dab, and just put it on my joint. And then I would look up and notice that like 4 or 5 groups of German
Staring
tourists
at
are
you.
looking at me like, what the fuck is that? And I'd just be like, give me your joint. And,
Yeah.
and none of them resist. They're like,
Join me.
okay. Like immediately, right away. They're like,
Get me
whatever
high.
that is, I
Yeah.
want to try
Yeah.
it.
The opposite of what they've been told all their lives.
The social aspect.
If a strange
though.
man offers
so
you
much
drugs,
fun.
just hand him your joint and let him put whatever he
Worth
wants
it.
all over
Yeah.
it.
Must have blown like 200
Well, see, they
euros in
never
live
said if
rosin,
you're
but it was
already
worth
on
it.
drugs.
Yeah, that's it. If they just want to add to your drugs, it's okay.
Yeah. But if you're sober, don't.
Yeah.
It was, it was a lot of people said like they'd never tried live rosin before, so just let them check it all out and stuff, and let them
Nice.
smoke it and see what it's
And
like.
what's the difference live rosin exactly between rosin and fucking? I know there's a million different names. It's hard to
Fucking
keep
no,
up.
man. Listen.
Okay, because you keep saying live rosin. I know rosin, so I don't know if there's a difference between
Well-
rosin and live rosin.
Well,
Dancing
no,
in the
it's
jar.
probably the same. I
Okay.
mean, live rosin means that it's already, that reaction that happens that makes THC active, like when you decarb weed
Yeah,
for making
yeah.
edibles, like that has already taken place.
Okay.
Okay, so that means that like you could, I mean, it would be disgusting and probably burn your tongue, but you could just like eat it. and
Okay,
it
it'll
would-
get you
it'll-
high.
it'll do the
Okay, I
thing.
get you. Yeah. And then when you like heat it up and dab it again, it's
But
stronger
imagine
or it's
that-
just ready to
imagine
rock?
If you had like maybe cold press stuff, that
Yeah.
it would not be activated like that. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not a producer of weed.
No.
I just smoke the stuff.
Yeah.
And I like trying out things with really great flavors. Like I've been kind of getting into the whole terp profile things, but I'm not trying to get obsessed with it.
Yeah.
'Cause
No,
I
but
think
it's-
you
if
can
you
get up
find
your own
out-
ass a bit about it.
Oh no, for sure.
Well, I think it's cool to know for yourself at least.
Yeah.
If you know
I know
what
what I
you
like.
like. and
Yeah,
them
that's
kind of
it.
With
things,
weed, I know I
yeah.
like things that taste gassy. I
Yeah,
love that.
I like
shit,
gassy,
don't I?
kind of indica,
heavy
cushy
smoke.
kind of flavors. I don't like getting too sweet and tangy
But I
and
also
hazy.
like, but, okay, so that's where we differ because one of my absolute favorite flavors for a strain is Super Silver Haze.
Okay, no.
Okay. I
Fucking
will-
love it. The smell,
Like
the taste.
until I tried
so
damp rings, that would have been my top haze.
Yeah.
I like the high off it.
I like the
My
high
favorite
off
Super
amnesia
Silver's from
haze.
Wasp, man.
Amnesia, I find, is like this kind of indica
Yeah.
for your brain. It's like that goofy kind of.
It brings you
Indica
back
is
to
my
that
go-to
first
for all
joint
coffee
kind of
shops.
vibe.
Like if I go to a new shop and I want to see, like, first of all, is your amnesia haze over 10 euros?
Yeah.
And second of all, is it good? And
Yeah.
then if that's good, then maybe the rest
The
of the
shop's
menu's okay.
alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it is the standard. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
if you can get that right, you can probably do everything else
That's
right.
the test.
Yeah,
It was hard to find amnesia in Thailand,
yeah. Like in America, you wouldn't get haze much.
but
Haze or
I
hash.
found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how
they
was
got
it?
It was good.
Oh, nice.
So there's a there's a exclamation mark adverb. There's a shop in Bangkok that if you guys are ever over in Thailand, I highly recommend going to.
Okay.
It's called Dutch House.
Dutch house. Okay.
A couple of Amsterdammers and a half Thai, half Dutch guy started a very good dispensary over there.
Nice.
It's on Sukhumvit, a little bit east of the main explosion
Madness,
of that area.
yeah.
But they are so good, man. Like really so good, and they have like top quality weed. I went with them to visit some farms.
Yeah.
And pick out some
So
strains.
you got the
and
sea
stuff.
farms over there.
Sure.
What do you
yeah.
like?
Is it
So,
very
okay.
open?
It's just like if you were farming strawberries. It's
That's
Oh, wow.
beautiful.
yeah. So the
Need
the
to go
farm
do a
that I-
fucking
Yeah.
podcast over
I
there.
want to frolic through
Oh, that's great.
all the
You can arrange that. They love the publicity too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're allowed to be public about it.
Yeah.
It's not obviously it's not like they can do TV commercials or magazine ads.
No.
There
Yeah.
are restrictions.
They're,
to
yeah,
this.
same here.
There are
They
restrictions.
can't promote, but they can do stuff. You know
Oh, yeah,
what I mean?
like when
Like,
Booty Youngins got in trouble.
oh yeah.
Oh, I thought that was funny because they're I don't know. I used to really like that shop, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, same myself, man. When I first came here, I used to. My friend worked in Hunters, the bar across the road, so I'd smoke in there all the time, and I wouldn't even go into Hunters next door. Even if you give me discount, I'd say, right, Boring Youngins across the road. So my first year or two, Boring Youngins all the time, €10, €11, good indicas. Then I remember going.
Which
I
one were
hadn't-
you were going to the one by Rembrandt, right?
Yeah, Utrecht
Okay.
Strat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Hunters is right across the road.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the strains were like 10, 11, maybe €12. And then I hadn't been for a while. I went back and suddenly there was 16s and 17s. I was like, what the fuck happened here? You know what I mean?
A long
Like,
time ago, they used to be even smaller than that. They only had a shop in the Barsjes.
okay, that's on
It
the
was
west.
Called,
Yeah,
it's
I
called
know
Booty
it.
Youngins, and then right like kitty corner across from it was another one called Bai.
With the seat in the area, there's one with a kind of glass box with one chair. I was in
but
that one.
Yeah, that's the original Booty Youngins.
Okay.
And back in the day, that was the only one, and then they opened a second one called Bai.
Okay.
Because it's Bai Booty Youngins.
That's hilarious. Very
And-
creative.
And they both had a line out the door all the time. because
Even the Utrecht Strats.
still-
Always, yeah.
because it's hyped now.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
have the whole
They have,
look,
15
you know
shops.
what I
They've
mean,
become
like-
the McDonald's of coffee
Yeah,
shops.
well, the
man.
plug is catching up on them as well. The plug has like 6 shops now or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
so
that's become a thing that's happening. But I don't know if it's a
franchises.
good thing.
No, I don't think it's a good thing. But at first, when they kept taking over shops that no one went to anyway. So it didn't
Yeah.
bother me.
Risky business.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I think,
Roger Schnitt.
what was the fucking.
Oh, this is Booty Youngins,
Amsterdam was gone. The Green Place took that.
Yeah.
Yeah, then the plug took. Noon wasn't a bad shop.
I loved Noon.
Yeah, Noon
I
was.
miss Noon.
Yeah,
Terps
Noon, I
Army
haven't
took
been
over
in
Noon
Terps
and I
Army
missed them.
too.
I've done
Um,
streams in Noon.
yeah.
I really missed
I
them.
lived in Lloyd's
With all
playing, so that was one of my
blueberry deal,
go-to.
dude.
Yeah, did loads of it. Yeah,
The
man.
blueberry deal. You
Yeah.
got like 4 grams for $20.
Yeah, man, it was a great little shop.
Oh,
And it was one of the few comfy shops around there. It had cushion seats, you know what I mean? It was a nice little chill area. I haven't been in it since it
Crazy
became.
art on the walls and
Yeah.
chill guys there. Yeah,
I haven't been in it since it became Terps Army too.
I have.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about them, but at one point I was because it's just a coffee shop doing their thing. But I was streaming there before, and it was always fine. I've been there many times. My first dab was given to me by Lorenzo. The
Oh,
owner.
nice.
Like my
Nice.
first ever dab I had from the owner of Terps Army.
Nice.
So I was always welcome there. And one time I was streaming and I was at the wall, like pointing to myself, and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
no one
And
else.
this guy with a laptop lost his fucking marbles on me across the shop.
Yeah.
Because I was streaming, like he realized I was streaming and lost his shit. He's like, I don't want my audio on stream, nothing, blah, 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 just flipped out and stuff like that. And then the I was like, I'm not recording you, man. Like, leave
Yeah.
me alone. And then the employee said, like, you gotta respect the guys. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what is going
What's
on?
happening right now? Like,
it
yeah.
all happened on stream. There were witnesses. Like,
Yeah.
we were like, what's going on? And then
Like, imagine watching
and
that
then-
and you just see you like, what the fuck's
and I
happening
wasn't
right now?
allowed in anymore. And apparently the same exact
And was
thing
this in Terps Army
had-
1 or 2?
Two. Lights
Two,
of one.
okay, yeah.
The same exact thing happened with the same exact guy with Stephanie Quattro.
Okay.
Like a few weeks prior.
No way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this guy's policing the fucking,
I believe
the
he's
IRL.
maybe he works there or something. He's one of the suppliers.
He's
that
obviously
they-
talking
it's
some dodgy
whatever.
shit and doesn't want to hear it.
Basically,
no, in fair,
yeah.
you do have to, like, I've had people when I've been in shops and they just walk straight in with the phone and record and people.
Yeah.
And
I don't be
I've
doing that,
called
though.
them. No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But
But they
there's
don't know
a
that.
way to go about it.
The thing is,
I
they don't know
start
that.
losing
Yeah,
my
once they
shit.
see it, it's like when you
Yeah.
walk to the red light with a camera, they're like, hey, don't be filming us. Like, I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they don't know that, though. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But it
It's-
is just a, like, yo, no recording.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
They're
not,
losing-
relax.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't need to get angry.
Yeah, when
No,
like
please.
a lot of people get mad at the cables on the back of my camera all the time. Like I'm walking and I'm holding the camera like this. The lens is right here. It means a big old lens.
Yeah.
Pointing at me, and then they are where you are, and
Yeah.
then start yelling at me. I don't want to
Hey,
be on
don't
What do
film me.
Why are you filming me? And they come up to you, and they start like
Then go on the camera.
and they start getting
Come
in
around
frame.
behind.
Yeah, they start getting in frame because it's also a wide angle, and I'm just like, dude, like, if you don't want to be on camera, get away from me. And then they take that the wrong way, and I'm like, I've never filmed you.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Like, people just immediately flip.
Oh, it's all about
like,
them, you know what I mean? This guy's out here following me.
I don't know what it is, but like, yeah, they just don't want to be filmed. And that's fine, that's their right and stuff, but I don't go around putting cameras in people's
No,
faces.
of course
No,
not. Really
absolutely.
respectful.
They don't know that.
Yeah,
don't know
and
that.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. I am one of the people that I get a bit weird, just more because there's so many. And when it's in tourist mode, you'd be walking through the street and you just see backs of phones everywhere, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I'm in everything.
And like even me working in the coffee shop, people come in and start filming me and work. I'm like,
That's
I'm
the
working
thing,
right now.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
Yeah, I get it.
So that I do, but that's when people are, whereas if you can see the backs of the wires.
you know what I mean. The
should be
cable's
able
not
to,
looking
yeah.
at you. You know what I
They're
mean?
more
Like,
like
it's-
a
They never
Karen
realize
coming
it.
up.
Yeah.
and
Never
like,
realize it, man.
excuse me.
yeah, you just want to be part of it. Like,
Yeah.
don't film me, and then on the camera, like, what's happening here?
Here's my handle.
Yeah.
It always gets me when they say, like, but I don't even want my audio on here. I need you to delete it. And I'm like, it's a live stream. It's in the ether now.
Yeah,
man. Like,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You came up and
this shit's out
spoke
in
more
space
clear,
already by
nearer
now,
the
man.
mic.
Like, it's out there. Like, there's nothing you
Yeah,
can do.
I can't take that back.
Yeah, like,
People
if
have
you
heard
don't want
it.
your audio on here, you should probably stop talking.
Yeah,
to
and
me.
walk further away
Just
from
go.
me.
Just keep walking.
Yeah,
It's not
man.
hard.
Some people have nothing better to be doing with their lives. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Dude, I've noticed things have gotten a lot more aggressive in Amsterdam, though.
Oh yeah. In what way?
Well, okay, so in terms of ones that I've heard of, there have been now 5 stabbings in Amsterdam since I've been back. I've been back for a
Okay.
month. And
Okay,
another,
I've not
I
heard
think
any of
we're-
this. No.
there's been 3 stabbings a day in the Netherlands.
Is
for
this in
past
the
week
like?
this year.
This is not like city. This is more suburbs and local beef. I'm guessing.
I saw a guy who I know is stabbed. He had like blood all down his arm and shit. This
the
was just
fuck?
like
And
Monday.
like, from
Well, trying to be
what-
robbed or like.
It's one of the, I hang out on Light Supply a lot at
Yeah.
night, and I've met over the years a lot of these homeless guys that are always there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
they're just
yeah.
always- and they're actually, a lot of them are quite nice.
Yeah, no,
No,
I probably
the
know
Am-
half them myself.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I always say to him, you're better to know the Amsterdam crazy locals.
Yeah.
Because then
Yeah.
when you walk down, they'll shout their weird saying at
Yeah.
you.
They're always
And
nice
you're
to me.
comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing
Other people are
is,
scared of them, and they're always nice to me.
Amsterdam Central Station, you can go
Oh, yeah.
there and go to any part of Europe,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So that also means anywhere can come in.
Yeah.
I feel safe with the Dutch, the Amsterdammers, the crazies, all of them.
Mhm.
But it's the people that float in.
Mm.
So Amsterdam is safe.
Yeah.
I always said I've walked through these streets all hours of the night.
Well-
Fine. It's more if you're standing there in Leiden plane where there's all the weirdos and where everyone's there looking for money and drugs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. You're walking in risky territory.
Yeah, no,
True.
for sure.
That's
It's
my
true.
thing. If I was walking home, I'm not going to go straight across Leidstraat and walk with all the crazies. I'm going to go my own route.
Yeah.
You know what
What's
I mean?
wild
It's-
about Leipzig,
street
like that
vibes.
area where the McDonald's and stuff is over there.
Yeah.
There's all those clubs back there, and those
Yeah.
clubs are for like the majority of people that go there are like 21 to 25.
Yeah.
Like it's like a kiddie club.
Yeah, it's a young
area.
club,
Like
yeah.
the
Yeah.
tourist
And
clubs.
it's really it's not even tourists. It's really Dutch.
Yeah, no, I always say Lights
Googles,
playing's more Dutch.
Lammetjes.
Rembrandt's kind of half-half, you know what I mean? But
Rembrandt's
Lights
way more
playing,
tourist.
it's
The clubs that are on the Lange Leidse de Waarstraat are
Yeah.
super Dutch.
yeah, that's where the Amsterdam people go for
Like
their.
Andre Hazes and stuff. It's like super Dutch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
I lived, you know, that square like where all the terraces are.
Mhm.
I lived above one of the bars there, so that was my front garden for 2
Okay.
years. I
Then
could,
you know.
when I lay on my bed, I could look into the bulldog straight
Yeah.
across the street. I was that, so I know the
Okay.
madness there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's, but I wasn't hanging around on the streets. I was
Yeah.
into my house, coffee shop, home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
we're gonna go
yeah,
hang
the longer
back
you hang
there.
around, you'd see a lot more because
Yeah.
we're
One day
walking
I saw
by.
this homeless guy I know with blood dripping down his arm because he got stabbed like right here above his elbow. And
Fucking hell. Was it beef with another homeless guy or something? Or
I don't know. I do not
crazy.
know, but there's been ambulance calls for stabbings like
Yeah.
every day.
we had a
Crazy.
group of drunks come in the other day, like you were saying about keeping the crazies kind of on your side.
Mhm.
But we had these guys, and we couldn't get them out of the shop. Eventually, we had to push them out. We had to slam the front door. They started leaning in the window, grabbing Coke bottles, throwing them in at customers and all. But eventually, when we chased them away, 2 of the homeless people that came up there, I'd give them lighters if they're passing. They start like, "What are you doing?" and had our back. And these guys, once they see
You
these
feel
people
so
joining
safe
in,
with
yeah,
them, yeah.
these drunks were just gone down the road. So it's kind of like. They are a bit crazy now, but some of them are good. You know what I mean? They have a
Yeah.
good heart. They just fell on hard times. You know what I
And
mean?
it is,
So,
and they're just living the Amsterdam madness.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I
I've
think a
noticed
lot of
a severe deterioration in some like there's like a handful of these guys that I know that hang around Leidse.
Yeah.
And I've known them for like 3.5 years now, just from
Yeah.
walking around and seeing them. some of them have disappeared, but others I've just watched them deteriorate so
for
much.
sure.
Like one of them
Yes,
just
it
yesterday, I was outside the Taylor Swift concert. So I have a friend.
Was she here?
who
Was
said
she?
Everything. Oh yeah. she's
Oh,
here
yeah,
the next
didn't
3
even know.
days, dude. Oh dude, it's madness. over
Yeah,
there.
I heard the shit goes crazy with her, like her
Okay.
fans and her
Oh,
following
it's
there.
wild.
She's
It's wild, but it's
it's
positive.
Beatlemania
times.
for the
Okay.
modern days.
Ooh, nice.
I had my mind changed a little bit on it.
Oh yeah,
People were
I heard
like,
she puts
oh.
on a show. Like I've heard even like comedians, like normal people, like I was dragged to a Taylor Swift show. She puts on a performance and all this
Okay.
stuff.
Standing
Yeah,
outside
so-
the arena, I could hear it really well, and
Yeah.
I was just like, "Shit, man!" I kind of had the chills. I was like, just imagining what it would be like. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can see how this is a good show. Just
Yeah.
from hearing it, like,
Yeah,
yeah,
if
it's
it's a
probably
whole
amazing.
performance,
Yeah.
then yeah,
It's huge.
phenomenal.
yeah, and her
nice.
fans are fucking
But
crazy.
anyway,
Nice. Yeah.
on this,
Shout out Taylor Swift.
this one guy I've known for a
Swifties.
few years was sitting there like completely like zoned out on heroin outside
Yeah.
the Taylor Swift concert.
That's
Just
hilarious.
vibing away.
Where's it? The
Sorta.
Ziggo?
Yeah, no, at the arena.
Oh, the Belmer.
Full ass arena.
Okay,
yeah,
the
the
stadium.
Johan Cruyff
Yeah, of
Arena.
course. Yeah.
But this guy, like, he's completely doubled over. But I'm telling you, last year he was a guy running around the streets playing guitar and stuff
No
like that.
way.
There
And
has
now he's
been
just gone.
a few of them, the flower pot man.
The Flower Pot Man. Do you remember him? Oh
He
no,
Didn't he? I believe he did.
I don't know.
I
Like
believe Flower Pot
I
guy
have a
passed away.
picture
I
of
was
him.
so hoping he was going to just resurrect.
I have a picture of
sometime.
him from my first ever trip from my disposable camera with the Flower Pot. That was 2005,
Seen him many
2006.
times.
See, he'd be always around the Joker.
Yeah, and then I remember seeing pictures of him in black and white. People had him like with the Flower Pot from the
years.
90s or 80s
Yeah.
or something.
Whereas
like
for a
I
minute.
thought when I met him, because I only like
look this up.
the last like
I'll be
maybe
Jamie.
3 years I would have saw him, and
Yeah.
then it hasn't been for 2 years
Yeah.
or so. But I thought this is just some random cunt. And then when you
No,
said, no,
he's
I have
famous,
a photo.
that guy,
And then,
yeah.
it's mental.
Because I remember I seen him my first holiday. I was like, oh, pothead, brilliant. Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, I gotta get a picture of this, and then I took a picture. Like, oh, give me money. I was like, that's what he's up to. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then like I'd see him when I came back and shit and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I
No
wanted to.
legend. I remember doing like press ups and all with the pot
Yeah,
still
with the
on
pot
his
there.
head.
I
He
was just
a
finding
G.
photos of that.
Yeah.
But
I believe he's
I wanted to do a thing called fucking crazy bingo for you. Put pictures of all these different like celebrity kind of crazy people that have their memes, and if you find them all on your weekend, you've
Have you
got
seen the
Amsterdam
guy-
bingo.
Have you seen the guy who would just like roller skate
That's-
through Amsterdam in a speedo?
Yeah, on the
Yes.
bike I'd see him. I've never seen him rollerblade.
Yeah.
I've seen him
Yeah.
on the
I'd
bike
say
with the
bike,
speedo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's
He's a legend as well.
what was the other guy? There was a fella who used to sing "You Take My Money." He was like, I used to call him fucking Kanye Pest. He just went around fucking singing Gold Digger and Michael Jackson songs. This old man, you see him dancing around Lides of playing. And all.
I remember
You've
him.
definitely seen him. He was
Yeah.
there all the time. I haven't seen him in a
Do you
long
remember
time.
the guy who used to do the
Wheelie?
wheelie?
Yeah, don't-
He also passed away.
No,
Yeah, he
don't try this at
definitely-
home.
Yeah, that guy.
No.
I've had him on my stream before too.
Yeah, man, I see him all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's two of the
It
main
was,
ones.
like a year or so ago. He died. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, no, that is sad.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember there was this old dude around Jordan, mad long dreadlocks and all, mad
Na, na,
quirky
na, na, na.
little. No, but
Oh.
he's just some little American dude. We look like a gnome. Whenever you'd walk by, I'd be like, "Hi."
Oh yeah, I remember
He
him.
was
It
so
was in your dad.
positive. Yes.
Yes.
Sounds like
Oh,
Soma.
man.
He kind of looked like Soma.
He
did.
looked like Soma. Oh my god!
That-
Just,
just
take
when you
off the
say it, yeah.
glasses.
That's
oh man, he
hilarious.
was so
But-
lovely. He brightened my day every time.
Yeah,
Just see
he'd be
him
always
stand
in
the corner.
Albert
Hi.
Heijn as well.
Yeah.
Standing with the guys there,
Have a great day.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Hi.
Yes.
I'm like, oh man,
And then-
beautiful.
Did you ever see a man? Na 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 na. There's a black
Sometimes
guy who used to go
wearing top
around.
hat,
He's like,
short
"Na, na,
dreads
na,
as
na."
well.
Maybe.
You just shouting it. You just hear him before
But
you'd
if you
see him. You
call
know what I
it
mean?
back, he will keep doing it.
Yeah,
The whole
but he was
way
a
down
good
the
guy. He was
street.
just crazy.
Yeah, no, lovely soul.
You just walking down Farmer Street or whatever next to him, na 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 na. You just see him just come around the corner. And all. Oh, there's some characters in this city, man.
It
Absolutely.
is. Because we always say to people are like, oh, what should we do in Amsterdam? What museums? Fuck the museums.
Yeah.
City is a
Go.
museum of
Yeah.
the mentally
You
ill.
Yeah.
know what I mean? But we all
A
are
museum of
people
human
being
culture, you know what I
there,
mean?
yes.
The extremes.
Go explore, looking, not in the windows, but at the windows. You'll see people have like decorated their living rooms for
Yeah.
the city. The stuff isn't turned in to face them. They faced everything.
Yeah,
out.
everything's out to be on
It's-
display.
yeah.
Like,
This whole city is magic.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So many quirky characters. Oh, that's sadness as well.
Yeah. Like the flower pot man was fucking legendary. But again,
Yeah.
they were getting on, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're,
And if you're out in all elements,
oh,
fucking
stop.
doing
The fact that
push-ups
you
off the
survived
ground
that
and all,
long, you know what I mean? Like, it's.
Have you guys ever seen? There's a guy who I knew in Vondelpark. His name was Richie. Richie used to be like a boxer or some shit.
Okay.
Probably CTE. Ended up a homeless guy, but he was missing one leg up to his knee.
I don't know.
That's how
There's
you
a
would
guy-
definitely identify him. He used to do push-ups with no legs, just floating.
Whoa, shit.
had
like
that.
his leg, he
He
has
would, go,
one
he would
leg.
go up on a ledge and just start pushing up and just float in his body. Like, he had the upper body strength to do that shit.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
serious.
Wild. Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen him. I was just thinking there's a guy I've seen the last while coming by my shop in a wheelchair with one leg, but he's an old man. This guy's not doing no
Go out and
push-ups,
ask
so
them,
it's
sir, can you do a push-up?
yeah, no, it's definitely a different guy.
Mad.
Yeah.
Oh, I do feel Amsterdam's changing quite a lot.
sure.
Oh man,
It's getting too
For
cleaned up.
sure.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
too.
no. Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's
makes me
I
like
have a theory on it, and I think it has to do with the cannabis industry, actually.
How do you
So,
mean?
one thing that Amsterdam has thrived on a lot, and it's no secret, has been the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Big time. Brought a lot of people into the city for many years. It's been known as the place to go
Yeah.
to go smoke some weed.
100%, the
openly
mecca
and
of-
stuff.
yeah.
It's been like since back in the day, you know.
Yeah.
Since the Cheech and Chong days, even, you know,
Yeah.
just for a
Yeah.
long time. That's not necessarily the case anymore.
not at all.
You can smoke
Yeah.
weed all
Yeah.
over the place legally and get just incredible
Thailand,
stuff.
Jamaica,
Yeah.
Yeah.
America definitely smashed.
Yeah, Germany
Amsterdam
just
in terms of
legalized
average
it.
weed
Yeah.
in America is way better than here.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, like the Cali weed and stuff like
Yeah,
that you get
that-
here. Like, that's all you can get.
Yeah,
in
that's
Cali.
standard
Like,
weed.
that's-
Yeah.
it's just
Is
their
it
standard weed.
because I think only because they have the freedom
Oh,
to do
100%.
so. Whereas I think if you let it become legal here on a way that they can grow on a small scale and a large scale, I think the quality that
Oh,
could come from
100%.
here.
Like Devil
because
Harvest or whatever could, if he was given a
But the Netherlands has
warehouse
always had
like
a
America
policy
have.
of tolerance, not acceptance of cannabis.
That's
the thing,
It's
we
They,
need to
they
switch
create the whole
that.
point of why they created it was just to get junkies off the streets.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
It-
the
it'd
reason
be
why
Well,
like-
they
it's
made
a
it.
different fucking bracket, man.
Yeah, no,
It's-
for sure.
It's like a lot of a lot of politicians here see it as like a relic. Oh.
Oh, these apples.
So, what I see is that like the trend is that like, okay, a lot of people are saying like, yo, Spain is where it's at. If you want to
Yeah.
get weed in Europe, you know, that kind of stuff, or even hash. Like
Yeah.
their hash game is crazy. You know,
Beside Morocco, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
well, I
it's-
mean, yeah, like this. Like, people are starting to look at other places, Germany, as you
Yeah.
mentioned as well, and I think that Amsterdam and the powers that be here, they see that coming. That
Yeah.
Amsterdam is no longer going to be the special place for that. So they're pushing
But they're-
higher end tourism.
But they've
now.
also
Yeah,
they put
they
the
are.
fear into so many. They said they didn't want Brits coming. They said you can't smoke on the streets anymore. They're putting out
Yeah,
all
they're
this
trying to
publicity.
get rid
to-
of the whole party shit.
But that's
They're
what I
trying to
mean,
turn it
like-
into
they're
high-end
trying to
tourism.
slowly eliminate
Yeah.
it.
They're
but
trying to turn it
the-
into shopping and night like rich nightlife and stuff like that. Nice
Yeah.
cafes and
It
stuff like
is,
that.
they're
And
trying
on
to-
one end is really nice, but
like
because I think they don't see a future where they can thrive on being like, you know, getting so much money from weed tourism, because
But,
that's
like,
something
are
that
they
Amsterdam has
gonna
definitely gotten a lot
thrive
from.
on €8 lattes.
yeah, you know
Yeah.
what
You know
I
what
mean.
I
It's,
mean?
That's a whole different story.
yeah,
That's a
like
whole different
there's.
story.
I don't know. I think if the whole world is going normal and they're trying to, like, it's weird to go backwards. You know what I mean? Why not just grow with it still there? You know what I mean? Have both of them. You know what I
If
mean?
anything, we have a head start.
Yeah,
because we have this
100%. People are learning from Amsterdam, and Amsterdam are trying to shut it all down. But like,
Yeah.
as working in a coffee shop for nearly 7 years now, the summers, like back in the day, every day in the summer was a weekend, busy
Sure.
wise.
Yeah.
The last 2 years, fucking
The last 2
summers.
years, the weather has been
only just
bullshit.
when I
Yeah,
went
man.
to the
But
Last
coffee
summer was
shop
very bad. I
today,
wasn't here. I was around Europe, but
Yeah,
everyone
but-
was saying it rained the whole summer.
But not only that, like I'm noticing, like I think the first year after lockdown, people are like, right, I haven't been in ages, let's get back to Amsterdam. The last 2 years since that, people are like, right, we've done Amsterdam, let's do Thailand, let's do California, let's
Right.
do Spain. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
Because
Because
it
there's
broke
choices
all
now.
that
yeah,
comfortability.
I think the days of busy, crazy summers here are gone now. You know what I mean? Because the world is
So
opened
that's
up
why
to
they're
it. You know
trying
what I
to
mean?
get
I
people
think
here for
with the
cultural
Brexit
reasons and stuff.
thing,
And
Yeah,
and
Brexit's
the-
fucked them as
yeah.
well. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like if they're leaving,
Well, I think it was they were. I think they were ready to be fucked by this. They were ready for it. Like they wanted it. Like
Brexit.
Yeah, I mean,
The people
Oh, it's
didn't.
great.
The poor UK people did not.
They
Whereas-
did not. But Amsterdammers, a main complaint that I've heard since I came here in 2009 was like the British tourists are the worst.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
100%.
they've always said
That's
that.
standard.
They've always
It's
said that.
the,
They've never really bothered me, but it's like I'm not
yeah.
like
No,
you
they're,
know, like I never like
they're-
go in those
they're-
areas.
when
you
they
know?
come like drinking in their droves, like they are, they're
Yeah.
one of the worst
Yeah.
out
It
there.
becomes
You know
It's
what I
the
mean?
big
Yeah.
stag parties.
Yeah.
They're messy and aggressive and obnoxious.
Like I never
Yeah.
went to Ibiza or anywhere that was predominantly English tourists on holidays. You know what I mean? I'd go somewhere that's a more of a mix because I knew if I went somewhere that was just all English, it's going to be crazy. You know what I mean? Like when England are playing in the Euros, even if England are playing in Germany, they'll put more police on here just because England are playing
Yeah,
somewhere in the
of
world.
course,
They're not
yeah.
even playing here. They
Oh,
have
yeah.
to think about that.
Did you hear that the German government were actually saying, because there's the match over in Germany only
The whole
recently,
Euros
yeah,
tournament, yeah.
that they were actually saying to fans, and especially UK fans, they were kind of like, obviously because it's not, you can just go and grab.
Yeah.
But we'd prefer you to be smoking
Smoking.
cannabis.
I seen an
than
article
drinking
about that.
alcohol.
So the police are actually advocating that you smoke instead of drink at the Euros.
Jesus.
How 180
Hello,
has the
we've
world
been
gone?
saying
Yeah.
this. How beautiful would that be at
That's
a whole
amazing.
stadium? Now, not obviously, you can't
It's a
smoke
smoky
inside.
Yeah.
No, smoke outside. Absolute respect.
But
to
like in the
sports
fan
ground.
areas, in the after, you know, when you're celebrating,
Yeah.
they're like,
But a load of
drums.
stoners,
Oh,
singing
stoners,
and
nice.
fucking going together. That
Yeah.
would be beautiful.
yeah.
I would like a smoking section at a sports venue. I might show up.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
I
yeah.
might,
man,
like, I
yeah.
might actually show up to one.
Yeah, half the
For
reason
first time in my
stoners
life.
won't go to places because like, I can't smoke for a couple of hours. Like it's a long time, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, it's crazy how it's gone full 180.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
changed.
Arresting you for smoking. They're
Yeah.
like, have a joint. You know what I mean? Put that beer away. It's
I
fucking.
remember even on King's Day, we were standing in Blue Coffee Shop. We were doing like a vape table.
Sure.
So everyone coming in and out of the coffee shop, we were just getting them high as fuck.
Mhm.
But we had like a moment to pause at one point, and we were sitting there smoking joints, and we looked outside and we're like, this is probably one of the few times in our lives where us as stoners are the people inside and the people smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol
Yeah.
are out on the street.
Yeah, having to
Yous
put it
have
away
to
to come
stay
in.
out. Yeah. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
that was a whole like, we're okay in here. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
it's crazy, isn't it?
Right.
Whereas anyone else are like, whoa, watch your drink, cans outside, no cigarettes, da, da, da. We're just there smoking our joints. It
Yeah.
was beautiful.
The pub scene is outside and the
Yeah.
stoners are inside
Yeah.
in the warmth.
Just the mindset, and then when you walk in, it was just calm and peaceful in the
Yeah.
coffee shop, and outside it was like
Just
wow,
madness,
yeah.
like it's fucking zoo.
King's Day chaos. Yeah, no, it's nice to see.
And would you be a drinker? Or just a smoker?
I'm not against either. I
Yeah.
don't consider myself a big drinker. I don't like being drunk, but I
Yeah.
love craft beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
I
like
like-
drunk people.
I like trying
I
special
don't mind
beers, and
drinking.
I look at it more as like a culinary thing than
Yeah.
a good
You're
time
not there
thing.
to get pissed. You're there to taste the actual thing for
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah, and I like really
a
strong
strain.
beers, like 12%.
Okay.
really
Yeah,
strong
them craft
motherfuckers.
ones are mental.
Yeah.
Some of them are
strength.
crazy. Yeah.
They're nuts.
It's filled.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. I get it. It's like even everyone has their thing. It's like they have the wine tasters, or like even bakers. They
Yeah.
each have their own different
Mm.
thing they perfect.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely. We all each have our own like thing.
But the dog's crying for food. I have to go to work soon, so we might wrap it up there. Thank you so much, Reydempto,
Yeah,
for coming
no,
on.
really.
My pleasure.
Yeah, man, you're a
Really
legend.
time and
Yeah.
talks,
Anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time you're back, can you tell us more about... Oh, yeah, when are you going back to Thailand?
Man, in a couple months.
Okay, and
Okay,
that's...
nice.
That's full time
But
then, or
yeah, I'm moving there. Man.
Okay.
I'm selling all my shit and moving there.
wow,
Lovely.
that's a big
That's a
fucking
big
step.
Yeah, so
adventure,
maybe you
but
guys should come to
fuck, yeah.
Thailand.
Oh, 100%, man.
Yeah,
It's on
if
the
we're
cards,
there,
yeah, for sure.
It is in the plans.
I know
It's expensive
Lakalada
place to
have
play.
a club over there, or a hotel in
shit.
Koh Samui. They have like a
Oh, those-
resort.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, I know about it. I
Yeah.
know about it. Yeah.
So Jackie was saying we go and do a podcast there for sure. That'd be
Nice.
sick. So now we have to
Yeah.
do a trip to Thailand, a proper fucking.
It's worth
Especially
it.
though
Yeah.
you're seeing, I want to go and check out these
And
places.
I was
worth it.
worried it was all going backwards and they're going to shut it all down. I was like, I got to get there before it does, but it's
Yeah.
not.
It's just
You think it's there for a
changing.
while.
Look, they're trying to regulate it more because right now you can just buy like a kilo out the back door of
Yeah,
any
and
dispensary.
they open
It's not
thousands
technically
of
illegal.
shops and-
Yeah, it's kind of Wild West right now, and they're already making changes and stuff. But okay, this is one really beautiful thing that's happening, that's changing over there that I like, and I wish that they would put this in other shops, like they put this in Europe. This would be
Yeah.
amazing. The what seems to be happening is they're going to make it so that there has to be one person at all times in a dispensary that is trained to deal with someone who has greened out,
Okay.
who has smoked
Yeah.
too much weed, who thinks
Yeah.
I'm gonna die, you know, this
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
stuff. Because a
I
big
deal with it
problem
every
they
day.
have-
I know
Yeah,
exactly.
But they're like gonna go through like something similar to like lifeguard training.
Okay, nice.
For
That's
people who, yeah, like
that-
with an actual certificate
Yeah.
from a medical
Beautiful.
facility and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
like
that's
that.
very
Yeah.
that's
So there's
brilliant.
already people being trained in dispensaries, so
Because
they're ready
it's-
for when this flips.
Yeah.
And I think that should be
I've
everywhere.
had
It should,
doctors.
yes, it
I've had
should.
doctors in the shop and they're like, "Oh, this." I'm like, "Get out of the way." You know what I mean? Literally,
Yeah.
get out of the way.
They
There's a
panic,
sugar
yeah.
drink, the whole lot.
Yes.
I know more about this than this doctor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This guy's gone
Yeah.
to college, and I'm like,
Yes.
"You don't know what you're talking about, mate. Get out of the way." He needs his sugar drink. He needs his sugar tablet.
And
A
you
few
need
minutes, a bit of
balance.
fresh air, maybe
Yeah.
a wet towel around his
Yeah.
neck to cool him down.
I heard they're going to make it a little more hard for Thai people to get weed, though.
Okay.
Because a lot of issue they have is with students getting a hold of it, and it's affecting their productivity and stuff like that. And
Okay.
also, they're showing up at hospitals thinking they're dying.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Okay,
and,
yeah.
you know, you have to
But that
understand
again
that.
will be good with that training.
Yeah,
and the
just coming
education.
with that approach.
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
really
it's a good
cool.
approach, and you just have to remember that these guys are coming from a place where, okay, so the West has known about weed for a minute. Asia has
you should
kind of
get-
turned their back on it for quite a long time, and
What about,
now
like,
they're.
death penalty
Yeah,
at
when I
some
first
point?
went there, you
Wasn't
could
it?
get a death penalty if you got caught with a joint and
So
shit.
this is,
like,
this is all very, very new for them. So
Yeah.
of course,
Good.
when a bunch of their citizens start reporting that they think they're going to die in a hospital, and the hospitals are reporting to the government, hey, why are they filling up with a bunch of people who smoked weed and stuff like that? They have to react to this.
Yes,
Yeah,
This is a
absolutely.
normal
course.
thing to do with the
100%.
government
yeah,
that cares about
it's
their
new
people.
to
Yeah.
them. They're like,
Yeah.
"What the hell is all
Absolutely.
this?"
Of course.
Fair.
So the right wing reaction is just to swing over to like, okay, we're gonna ban this shit, and then that's what went all over on the news.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's just they have a parliament over there. When you
Yeah.
give a bill, it gets looked at, passed around,
Yeah.
disagreed upon, gets changed. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of what's going on right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're all learning. It's growing
But
and stuff.
It's a nice way that they didn't just like freak the fuck out. and
Yeah,
be like,
go,
right,
shut it all
this
down.
They're like, okay, right, we need
Hit the
to
big red
learn.
button, like, yeah.
And they're
None of the
taking
dispensary
these
owners I
steps.
know are even worried about it. They're just
Okay,
moving forward with
nice.
life.
That's good
They're
to hear.
ready just to evolve with
Yeah.
what way it changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Reydempto.
really,
You're a
thank you for
legend.
your
Thank
time.
you.
It's
Appreciate
good to
it,
chat
yeah.
to you. Thanks to the Faded Fairy as always. If you're still watching,
Legends.
thanks to you. Like and subscribe and all that bullshit. Right, have a good one.
See ya.
Legends.